Hi, Patrick here, Half Cheetah Will View, and we are back for another film review. And today we will be talking about 2015's Even Lambs Have Teeth, which was written and directed by Terry Miles. I've known Terry Miles, his work from a movie he did called Recoil, and he also did a very strong Western called Dawn Rider, which starred Christian Slater. Terry Miles is a very strong director. Does action very well. This movie stars Kristen Zen, the lovely Kristen Zen. Some of you might remember her before she was married as Kirsten Prout, and we'll be talking about that in a little bit because that's important. They also star Tiera Skovbye, and she's got some really fun credits. She's done Riverdale. She did Summer '84, and she also did the Bring It On movie, Cheer or Die, which played on the Sci-Fi Channel. And then it also stars Michael Carl Richards, who played Uncle Jason, and Gwyneth Walsh, who Star Trek fans might remember as playing one of the Dura sisters, Bator. Her and Larissa were always making trouble for the Enterprise until they met their match in Generations, where they got blown out of the stars. Anyway, so this film is, like I said, from 2015, and it tells about two friends, Sloane and Katie, who are planning to go to a small farm to work for a month. They're going to work their butt off for a month so they can make enough money to go shopping for a weekend in New York City. So they're going to work 30 days hard for 2 days of spending. They are best friends. They're very, and um, uh, uh, Sloane is a horrible flirt. She flirts with everybody, including Uncle Jason, which causes Katie to embarrassment to no end. Uncle Jason also happens to be a special agent for the FBI, so he's very protective of his niece. And before they leave, he makes arrangements with them to leave a code every day that she's supposed to call in or text in has to have a code. The last word in the sentence has to be letters of the alphabet. So they start off with apple, and then banana, and then cake, and then dog. You get the idea. So unless you know what to look for, you wouldn't know. Um, and that comes into play a little bit later. So the girls go ahead and they take off, and they're gonna go catch the bus to town where the farm's at. So they stop at a diner and have some lunch, and they meet these two young men, and they seem really friendly, and they offer to take the girls to the ranch, to the farm. So the girls go ahead and they accept the offer for the ride, but instantly get a little bit more than concerned when they drive by the farm and they keep going. Well, of course, this is not going to have a happy ending, and it doesn't. Turns out that these two guys they go around and they kidnap young women that are going to that farm, and they are sex trafficking them. Um, and so Katie and Sloan are kidnapped and put into containers, and then this movie turns into basically a rape revenge type deal, and that's all right, especially the revenge part. It's an interesting movie in that sense. It's the scenes are not as nearly as graphic as they were, say, like in Slice Bit on Your Grave, which is probably the premier rape revenge movie ever made. But it is still very harrowing. You see the girls being assaulted, or you can hear them, and they're distraught. And it is disturbing to watch. It's hard to watch. And But you know that sooner or later they're gonna get out of there. One interesting little touch about this is the opening credits of the movie comes out about 25 minutes into it. Just the title, Even Lambs Have Teeth. And it reminded me of Gaspar Noé's Climax, which I think came out in 2017. So Terry Miles did that crazy credit first. And then, and disconcerting to be in a movie 20 minutes in, 25 minutes in, and then have the opening credits drop in. We already know what's going on. You've already laid out your story, and I think it just takes away a little bit from the movie, just a little bit. Not enough to not recommend it by any means, but it's just you're vested into the story, into the characters, and all of a sudden they drop the big opening credits across the whole screen. Um, just do it in the beginning of the movie. So the girls do try to get out of it. They do try. They try to give fake names, which doesn't work, which only brings more heat on the girls. Not everybody, and for a minute there, it looks like maybe they're going to get rescued when the sheriff comes in. But of course, the sheriff's going to be part of the action, and he is. Um, yeah, the sheriff's not going to come rescue it at 30 minutes into the movie. um, but of course, they get the girls' phones, and they don't know about the code, and they inadvertently trigger it by not using the alphabet. They use the word apple, and they think that's the safe word, and it was for yesterday, but not today. Today would have been something with the letter B. And so the uncle instantly recognizes that the girls are in trouble, and he heads off to find out what happened to him. Uh, the girls, especially Sloane, have a really hard time as it seems like all the men are after her, uh, including one that wears the evil pig's mask. So finally, the uncle comes in there and he's starting to make noise. So the sheriff calls up the house and says, "Hey, you got to get rid of those two girls. You kill them, put them where we dumped the other ones." And the girls hear this, so they know that they need to do something quick if they're going to get out of this. They go ahead. They manage to turn the tables, and they kill their one captor, and they break out, and they hide because the sheriff is coming. And these girls are, there's one thing, and that is they're resourceful. And they hide out of sight until the sheriff, he has no reason to suspect anything. He gets out of his car, walks over to where the containers are, not even thinking that anything was going to go wrong. When they steal the car, they steal his car. Now he knows something's wrong, and so now at first, the girls are going to drive out in the sheriff's car. They're all covered in blood and from killing their captor. They're covered in blood. They're thinking about just getting out. But as they're driving, they notice two girls going the opposite way, and they're hitchhiking. And the girls drive for a little bit, and they keep looking at each other, going like, "Those two are going to become the next victims unless we do something about this." So they whirl the police car around, head to the local hardware store where they they MacGyver up, so to speak, and they got all sorts of fun things, and they go ahead and they're gonna take it to the man. They're gonna take it to this sex trafficking ring, and that's what they do, and that is and the fun of it is you watch how they do it, and it's very creative, um, and only one scene would I just say that is a little over the top. When you see it, you'll know it, and you'll go like, "Yeah, okay." They stretch it out a little bit. I know that they were trying to do, but they sort of overplay their hand a little bit. But still, that's a nitpick. Because honestly, who gives a rat's ass, right? Because they're getting their revenge. And there's some really dark humor in this movie too, as the girls as they go up the chain to get the revenge. Every one of every one of their victimizers is always trying to buy out of their way with money. I have money. I have money. I have money. Um, well, by the end of the adventure, the girls are not going to need to work in the farm at all, and they're going to need a lot more than a weekend in New York City to spend all the loot. All right. So, what do I think about this movie? Well, I like it. I like it a lot. I thought it was really cool. Now I got to admit to you, the reason why I got hooked on this movie was because it starred Kristen Zen. Now it's really weird is when I watched this. I started watching this a couple of days ago, and then yesterday I heard that they're mentioning how Jennifer Garner is going to bring back her character of Elektra from the Daredevil and Elektra movies to the Deadpool 3 movie. And the reason why, and you go like, well, what's that got to do with even lambs have teeth? Well, in the Elektra movie, remember Elektra was guarding the little girl. First she was supposed to kill her dad, but then Elektra ended up protecting the dad and the little girl, the treasure. Well, the girl who played the treasure was none other than Kirsten Prout or Kristen Zen. I thought that was really interesting. That I was watching this movie and then I heard that news. Um, Kristen Zen is absolutely stunning. She is. I've seen her in several other films, including my favorite Hallmark movie, The Christmas Train, which she was excellent in. I was new to Tiera Skovbye. I've never seen her work before, and she played Katie, and she was pretty badass. I liked her quite a bit. She was fun, and those two had great chemistry together. Wow, they had some chemistry together. You believed everything that they were doing, and they would have gotten away with it too. Um, yeah, it was almost like, yes, we know what happened to us. Yes, it's horrible, and yes, we will mourn that once we get done with what we need to do. I mean, that after everything is going through, you just know the two of them are going to go in a room somewhere and just lose it. And but until that happened, they were going to go ahead and get the revenge. Um, uh, uh, I like Michael Richards, Michael Carl Richards. He played Uncle Jason. I thought he did really well too. Of course, some of the dialogue you could tell was a Canadian who did it, because they kept on calling him a detective. Even though he's an FBI guy, they kept on, I'm a detective. Well, no, in the FBI, you're a special agent. You're an agent or a special agent. Detectives are for police, for the police force here in the United States. But that's a nitpick. But it was cute. It was charming. Gwyneth Walsh played the evil matriarch, and yeah, she was really good too. Um, you definitely didn't feel sorry for her, and you definitely felt like it had a little page of Sicario. Even though Sicario came out after this movie, I should say maybe Sicario looked at this movie and took a page from Even Lambs Have Teeth, because there's a scene in the movie which brings up to me the scene in Sicario where Benicio del Toro's character is talking to the head of the cartel, and his family's having dinner, and Benicio del Toro, he gets his revenge in the most brutal way, and the girls do the same thing here. Um, yeah, this movie ran for an hour and 25 minutes. You can get it, you can see it for free on Tubi, um, and I'm sure it got released physically. I'm sure it did. I just don't know which studio put it out, but highly recommend getting it. In fact, I will be looking to get a copy myself because I really enjoyed this movie quite a bit. Um, I see that Kristen Zen has retired from acting. I am hoping that she's actually an expert in jewelry and gemstones. That's what she does now. She has her own company, and that's what she does. She works in the gemstone industry. Um, I hope that she will come back sooner than later. At least a couple of projects a year, because she really is a fine actress and a lot of fun to watch. Um, and her friend Tiera Skovbye also did. Like I said, she's still working now, and she's done a lot of cool stuff. She played Polly Cooper on Riverdale. She's, like I said, she played that movie Summer '84, which is a critically acclaimed film, and she also did this the Bring It On movie, which I don't know what they were thinking about making Bring It On into a horror movie. That's a weird thing to see, but I don't know. Has anybody seen that? Because I haven't seen it. I wonder if it was any good. All right. Well, that's it for this review. So highly recommend even lambs have teeth. This is a fun movie, and if you're into horror, if you're into rape revenge films, women empowerment, all that good stuff, like me and the cheetah are, then we highly recommend this. Um, yep, yep, highly recommend it. Uh, all right, well that's it for us. Leave a comment down below. Let us know if you saw the movie. Yeah, and we're working on some new stuff here. We got some new stuff coming up, and it looks like me and the cheetah will be sitting down to do some interviews with the director and at least one of the stars from the movie I just got done talking about before this one, called Brightwood. Holy shit! I can't tell you enough about that movie. That movie is bonkers. Best movie of the year. Best movie of the year. You will be talking about that movie for a long time to come. I'm telling you. Um, but we got some other stuff coming up. So and more film reviews. Um, yeah. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.